All right, so we're here, and everybody, we're gonna get some feedback on day 3, which was 7 hours, and then testing on day 3 of the Phase Kilo Commando course. And here are some candidates with us, and we're gonna get not just my opinion about things, but their feedback. So, what did you think about it, Brian?
What did I think about? First of all, the technology that we're using and the way we deal with specific situations is, I would say, superior to what anything else you'll probably encounter by pretty much everybody, and it's evident. And it's also, we're doing stuff, we're actually making this part of our nervous system the way we're training.
Yeah, hardwiring.
Yeah. And there's such a massive amount of information to absorb that even in this 3 days, it's challenging to say the least. But at the same time, fulfilling in a way that that once you learn this, you're safe from knife attacks and unarmed or armed.
Yeah. So that leads us to, there were some pretty intense emotions there, or moments there, right, Sam, when you were having to basically reenact Vietnam, right?
So, yeah, that was pretty fun. I mean, I had lived in Vietnam for a year and I speak Vietnamese pretty well. So that was just some fun I was having by pretending to swarm Brian and screaming insults at him in Vietnamese.
I didn't understand that, but I screamed some Chinese at Sam, but it was all based off of dirty jokes, that are with Rachel over on the phones, but it was all in good fun, and Christophe, of course, was laughing, not while he was filming, but in the initial
the foray,
he lost it because it was funny. But
let's tell them a little bit about, like, today you were at 2 different locations, right?
Yeah.
And so the second one's pretty remote, isn't it? I mean,
it was better for screaming and stuff. Like, I mean, that was, like, without giving too much away, the part of doing this training is getting amped up and being put in stressful situations and being able to deal with stress and fear and all these negative emotions.
And just the overwhelming mental fatigue, right? Because you guys hit mental fatigue yesterday, and then today,
we brain faded, as you like to say.
We brain faded. We forgot simple things that
we had just learned that day.
Yeah,
we had just learned it a few hours ago.
Under stress, it's stress and mental fatigue, and there's a lot, and they have to actually perform. And that was the thing about we was talking about swarming. That's a war situation where they're your position's getting overrun, and you have to deal with it. So they did.
There was some,
the terrain. The
terrain was such that if we didn't know our footing, like what we were taught, then we would have probably fallen on our asses. But we remembered that, at least to the point where we could succeed in doing the tasks. And then, of course, we had an exam actually. So we had to retain not just the motions, but the actual knowledge as well.
Right. And one of the things they did today a lot was defeating other knife systems or methods. Is they know faults to look for, and we won't go over those with you right here. No. But there are gigantic faults that they now know to look for anybody, and they know the solutions to those faults. And I'm telling you, if you're doing something else, you're doing a fault, because the research shows that clearly. I don't care what you think you're doing, you're making faults, and they learn to capitalize on those. And some of it's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, pretty fun. So they
the techniques themselves are simple.
Yeah.
Because you're under stress, and when you're under stress, you cannot perform complex thought patterns. It's just, especially when your life is on the line, it's virtually impossible. And so we're trying to reduce, reduce the effect that adrenaline and whatnot might have on you, and increase your chances of survival by utilizing simple but effective techniques, which is what we're all about anyway.
We're tactically based, not technique based, and most people are technique based. And so we always will get on other people's geometrical tactical superiority. Now I'll say that again: geometrical tactical superiority.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yes, but you won't know what it means. So it's okay. You can come train with us, and you will find out, because they always will have a geometrical tactical superiority over other people instead of a technique-based, athletic, attribute-driven sort of idea. That's pretty profound and deep, but that's where we're at. So just overall, what were your closing ideas about the entire 3 days? Brian, what did you do 3 days?
The information was hard to absorb in that amount of time. We were training in the desert today for the majority of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we were training elsewhere where the weather does affect you, and you're 7-hour stretches
in the sun,
no breaks. There's just the two of us.
Yeah.
So we can't really. We don't have any. We can't rest. You know what I mean? If we fault,
doing stuff too.
If we're faulting
all the time,
it's easy to correct one guy's faults, But if there's 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 people that are doing different things badly, we have time to, reflect and adjust accordingly. But since there's 2 of us, we can't do that.
We're in the hot seat the whole time.
Yeah, we're being observed the whole time, and eventually, when the brain fade starts, we're like, what's going on? What are you doing? It's like, I don't know what I'm doing because I'm fried.
You're stressed. Yeah. But to add to that, you're not only training in the desert with the sun, unrelenting sun. That's why we're all burned here, and 6,000 feet altitude. They're also training at 6,000 feet altitude, and these guys come from much lower altitude than that, so they're dealing with that. So there's a lot of stressors on everybody, and that's the point, because we're not doing antiseptic things, and it's not in a dojo or a clear matted gym. That's why they changed terrains. They were in wood chips, which were not good. They also had to train going up a hill, all sorts of things. So this is for, like, we are designed for all terrains, and you have to train in all terrains so that that. And they did quite a bit. Yeah, it's 3 days, quite a bit. They'd done another 3-day the pre-kilo course before that, but that's pretty easy compared to this, isn't it?
Sure. I mean, all the other courses I've done have been 3 hours, 7 hours, 3 hours. This was 3, 7, 7.
Yeah.
And
this is the hardest one.
Yeah, it was definitely the hardest one. And we're constantly doing stuff is the other thing.
Yeah.
We're not just we're not just hearing something and then practicing it a couple times and then moving on to the next technique. We're doing what we do and
the entire time
until it's right, however long that takes sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's
so Phil, War Scribe, you let yourself down. He knows who he is. And Coyote, So anyway, but we could go on and on about things. It was good to get this feedback with Brian here and get his thoughts and stuff. And I just want to say, join the Combat Judo Facebook group.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to. You find out more. You find out more about our when we're going to train again and what's coming up. Fluentfighting.com, my major website, and also combat-judo.com. Get on the email list because you get tips and fight information that'll help you survive, and also you'll be the first ones to know about the next training. And we do know something's coming up in November. That's all I'm going to say right now, because the official announcement will come tomorrow, actually, Monday evening. Anyway, so thanks to Snakepedia and thanks to Rinzai, and we'll see you guys later. And coolness, and remember, this is our signature thing. We're known for our knife, for our Commando knife, and these guys did it. Anyway, talk to you guys later, and we'll see you.
Peace.